It's highly unlikely that nobody likes you. Most people are reasonably likable. It is more probable that 1. You have a victim mindset. Women, at a deep unconscious level, want a man who is the likeness of a hero. And the hero I'm talking about isn't the one who saves the woman. They want a man who knows himself, who knows his self-worth. They have been conditioned for years on men of masculinity and wired to an unconscious level to be drawn to a man who is strong, who is certain, who is secure. I don't mean muscles either. And what ignites a woman's emotions isn't the real world. They can get the real world, the job, the income, then money, but the sexual experience, meaning the emotions, the feelings, their heart racing, their imagination flying, is something else. That's what most men cannot do. They want romance, but not in the way most men think. It is a hero, the masculine, who is of dominant nature, and I don't mean to act fake macho, but a man who knows his self-worth. He's confident and he has charisma when he walks into a place. A man who doesn't behave like a victim, but of internal self-power. He knows he got value to offer to the world, and he never, ever says he doesn't. He knows he does. If he feels something wanting, he doesn't cry about it, but he goes and makes something of it. He learns and keeps investing himself. No woman or man or company is going to tell him otherwise. When a man doesn't give up on what he wants, he's attractive. That doesn't mean chasing the same woman when she rejects, but he doesn't give up on learning to attract women, and he doesn't complain about it. He gets better at it. He figures it out. He solves problems in his own life. When women reject and he is not swayed, that is attractive. When a man isn't swayed and his state of the frame stays strong, he's attractive. 2. You are exaggerating the situation. If you feel awkward socially and struggle with low self-esteem, you may exaggerate other people's responses. If someone doesn't respond, you assume they dislike you. You assume this behavior is about you and not about them. There are people in this world who regularly forget to respond to text messages. Even to people they like, there are people who are just busy. My mother used to get upset with me for not responding to her texts immediately when she messaged me in the middle of a workday. At the time, I was working a job that kept me too busy to look at my phone, which I kept locked up with my purse until lunchtime. And sometimes I worked 5 or 6 hours before I was able to get a lunch break. Obviously, I wasn't avoiding my mother, but she was bothered just the same. 3. You are approaching people in the wrong way. This is a tricky one because it requires skill, and skill has to be learned. But if you are not inviting interesting conversation, people generally will not reply. A message that says hi or how are you or what's up is boring and puts all the work of carrying a conversation on the recipient. If you want to make friends, you have to do some of the work yourself. Tell a funny story. Talk about something that happened to you, a book you read, and what your day feels like. Share something of yourself, and then you can ask people about themselves. Of course, it's always possible that everyone dislikes you, that you have no redeeming qualities, and that you have good social skills and are still being rejected. But that's highly unlikely. It's more likely that you need to stop feeling sorry for yourself and start behaving like a person who is perfectly capable of making and keeping friends. You write the narrative of your life. If you think like a loser, you'll become one. Be the hero of your own life. 4. You are not fully ready. Girls are not worth engaging with until you can do interesting things with them. Relationships cost time and money. What is the point of sex without love? What is the point of a relationship without growth? In the human life cycle, are you ready for future, permanent relationships? You do not have to hone your skills in dating. When it turns up for real, you can experience a super steep and pleasurable learning curve. At some point in your life, you will become the target in the crosshairs of almost every single girl in the city. From being a gauche, impoverished, economical, unconfident, short, study geek, of the wrong race, of the wrong parentage, lacking in interests, the same person becomes suave, intelligent, sexy, tall, athletic, ripped torso, well-paid, generous, confident, discreet, mysterious, and an exceptionally sure win catch for marriage. 5. You are pursuing the wrong people. Nobody is liked by everybody. This is just how life works. We form friendships with the people we have things in common with, similar backgrounds, interests, and values. If you're a shy, nerdy person, for example, you're probably going to relate best to those who are also shy and nerdy. But if you are always pursuing friendships with people who are unlike you, particularly if they value other things, you're not going to have much success. If this is the case, ask yourself why you want to be friends with those people, instead of with people who can understand and relate to you.